Grand Risings. Today is Wednesday, March 16th, and this is your Shekinah Wisdom Podcast. Welcome back, my lovelies. Welcome back. I had to take a week off, and I had to revamp things here at Shekinah Wisdom because I felt like the full needs of my listeners were not being met at the current time. And so I had to delve into the world and figure out what is exactly that is more needed. And one of the themes that resurfaced over and over again was the lack of mutual respect. Right? And it's hard for people who don't respect themselves to respect other people. And that's when it goes back to the self-reflection and the self-work that needs to be done. Like, if you find that the situations and the scenarios in your life, they keep replaying the same themes, then that means there's some self-work, some shadow work that needs to be done within yourself so you won't keep encountering these same circumstances. And until we're at the point of self-accountability and knowing what is the core of these woundings and being able to let go, it's easier to pinpoint what is the problem with other people. But what happens when you turn that mirror onto yourselves? What do you see? That's why today I want you to, instead of reacting the way you would normally do in an unsavory situation, I want you to do something different. I want you to turn the mirror on yourself and ask yourself, what could you do differently in this scenario? And it could be a behavioral change where you decide to change the way you engage, or it could be to disengage, right? And when making that decision on whether to disengage, that's a personal decision. No one external from you can make that decision for you. It has to be something that is done within. You have to make those changes, because if you don't make those changes within, you will repeat those circumstances. And I'm sure your life has already shown you that. So that's why it behooves us to dare to be different and do things differently. If you do the same thing, expect the same results. And that was what this whole week was for me. It was a week for me to self-reflect, because I've been giving daily, nonstop. And I needed a break, so I took one. And that's okay. You can take a break if you need it. Everyone needs to take their what we call a mental wellness break, to make sure that you have that opportunity to just tap into yourself and focus on you for a change. And you don't have to always devote yourself to external affairs. Sometimes it's okay. And a lot of times I wish more people would do that. Because the way that we come at each other in relationships, whether it's business, personal, or familial, will have to change if we want to see a change. We can't keep doing the same things. That's revolution. Not if we're trying to evolve, which is evolution. And so, as I had these mirroring experiences, it transformed me in a whole different way. And I have that blueprint as well. And I'm going to be sharing it. And you are going to see how things are going to start progressing on this podcast. And how we're going to start digging deeper. Why? Because we all need this work. We are all dealing with these inner childhood wounds, and we're walking around as adults and with, our emotional maturity is not always up to par. And we have to acknowledge that within one another and help one another grow past that, if at all possible. But the one thing we should be is compassionate towards one another, right? Your personal experience is not the totality experience of the world. And until you see that, you're going to continue living that same experience over and over again. That's why it's important that we grow beyond these experiences in life. And we grow to the place that we are destined to be. We create what we see. But right now, we're just reacting in the pain that we suffered, pretending that's the totality of the total experience of life. And that's not it. And so seeing these extreme versions of me caused me to do self-reflections. First, I lashed out. And then I was like, you know what? Lashing out is not going to change anything. The only thing that's going to make the most positive changes is for me to make those changes myself and document the results. And that's what I do. And I'm thankful for all of you guys that are on this journey with me. And thank you for understanding that, we all need breaks from time to time. Like, I took no breaks. Even when I was on vacation, I was still doing my podcast. So it just shows how I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that this week. I'm just going to take a break off. And that's what I did. And know that that's okay for you to do that too. All right, my lovelies. Until our minds meet again, you have a wonderful hump day on this Wisdom Wednesday.